Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show, brought to you by yours truly, Redneck. So, I also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Mill Pond Salon and Romaine Berg. Uh, yeah, help us keep the show going every morning. Also, want to give a big shout out to you guys in the Invasion Nation. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. And we got some things to talk about, don't we? Uh, so let me get a shout out. Tech support, first one in the chamber there this morning. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, Lolly, Penny Larue, never back down. Good morning, Matt Ram. Good morning, and Chad. Good morning, and it looks like designed by Terry Krippner. Good morning. So last night I had a long. I was actually running early, and a car carrier that had passed me in town. It's Paulina's birthday. Well, son of a bitch. Happy birthday, Paulina. Good morning, Ruger wife. Good to see you, Jody. Good morning. So, as I was coming down Highway 23 uh, last night, coming through Howick, a vehicle decided to play chicken with an auto transporter and basically got crushed like a tin can. So that definitely put me up there. North Dakota born. Good morning. Good to see you. Um, and it didn't turn out very well. Blocked off all of Highway 23. You had State Patrol, Candy Lake County, and Paynesville Police Department all responding. Uh, were there immediately. Pretty bad deal. Ohio, good morning. Good to see you. USMC, good morning. Uh, Ryan, good morning. Or so that turned out. You guys will probably see it in the paper here this week, or see it all over the internet. That was in Howick, Minnesota, right on Highway 23. Uh, Auto transporter hauling brand new vehicles coming down 23. So people get this misconception. Now, understand this. I bitch a lot about people's driving. Uh, it wasn't distracted. I don't believe it was distracted. I believe what it was is they were going to try and pass. This is a common stretch of road where people, for whatever reason, Howick does not have a reduced speed limit because this road does not. This road cuts out actually out through the outside edge of their town. But a lot of people like to slow down as they're coming up to it. Why I don't know, but they just do. There's no reduced speed going through that area, and what happens is people slow down and coming up to it, so then people try to go around and pass right away. Well, it's a very kind of a dangerous area to do it if you don't know it or you're not paying attention because there's a curve right on the other end. It's a 60-mile-an-hour road, so yeah. Uh, I don't. As far as I know, there was no fatalities. I think 3 injuries is what I heard. I wasn't for sure on that. Um, yeah, but that was my eyewitness account yesterday. Oh, Junebug, good morning. Gus, good morning. Good to see you. And good morning to everybody in all the other places that watch us, either now or at a later date. I greatly appreciate y'all. The Because we do repost this on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you want to get over here and get involved in the conversation, make sure you get on Twitch Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And Twitch is very easy. It's just an app. It doesn't cost you anything. It is absolutely free. You can subscribe to this channel so you don't get the commercials, and you can help continue to forward the things that we're doing here in the Invasion Nation. It's absolutely great. Also, don't forget to check out our store, the redneckinvasion.org store. As you guys know, these stickers and these pink helmet shirts have gone absolutely ridiculous. I mean, literally flying out the damn door. It doesn't matter which. I mean, like I said, we're gonna reprint the emoji stickers. Will always be around, but the the Redneck Invasion banner, that one will not be. That is a one-time, one-stop shop deal. That is it. Once they are gone, they are gone. They are done. So, um, I feel bad because I haven't really been able to get onto Twitch a whole lot and watch anybody. My schedule has been literally I get off of here, I go to work, I come home, I have dinner with my wife, and I go to bed. Uh, so it's like, ugh. And then I get up and I do it all over again. So, and then trying to catch stuff, aromatherapy. What in the hell? I got some aromatherapy. Just head on over here after I eat some pork and beans. It'll be all the therapy you need, I swear. So, yeah, I did get on 30 stream. He told me he got it. He was rocking the shirt yesterday or day before yesterday. He got it the day before yesterday. Uh, yeah, he absolutely loves the stuff. So I have not had a whole lot of chance to get on Twitch and hang out with my family because of my schedule and the truck I'm in now. Uh, it was different in my F 150 because I could turn it on and I could listen, and my F 150 is set up 100% Bluetooth and hands free, as to where the bourbon is not. Nothing like powder to start the day. Hell yeah, fuck yeah. Nothing like gunpowder to start the day. So, um, also, uh, you guys hear about what happened in I want to say it was Memphis, Tennessee. Was it Memphis? Now this is a story as I've heard it thus far. Okay, uh, and the story is that police officers or U.S. Marshals were trying to serve a warrant on a gentleman, and he decided to run into them with his car. In turn, they opened fire, shot and killed the man, and it broke out in a big, huge riot. So, uh, you know, here's the deal: if that's the way the story is being reported, you know, to find out to what avail, everything comes out. But basically, you've got about a dozen officers injured at this point in time. They're kind of just putting up with people's bullshit and shenanigans, which I don't know that I agree with, because if this is the actual story and this is what happened, this guy then turned his vehicle into a deadly weapon. And at that point in time, officers are not only uh, allowed to shoot, but they're required to shoot, because now if this person's willing to use his vehicle against them as a dangerous weapon, what's to say he wouldn't use it against somebody else in the community? And what is their job to do? Protect and to serve. You know. MN Trash, good morning. Good to see you. So, yeah, Chad, I don't know if I said good morning. Got my stickers in the mail yesterday. Absolutely. So, uh, yeah, it's really hard to I don't like speculating on a whole lot of stories. I speculate on them as they are reported. Uh, The other thing that we've got going on in here in Minnesota is Jamar Clark is his family is now saying, well, our son was shot and and our nephew was shot. We should get $20 million too. And it's like, the officer wasn't found guilty in your case. Matter of fact, when they released the footage, you seen that he absolutely was justified in it. I don't know. I don't know. Your guys' opinions count in this, so I mean, let me know what you think. Uh, when you look at the full footage, this is the one where the girlfriend had got on Facebook and started a live feed after he'd been shot, and brought this country to pure turmoil. We had Interstate 35 being blocked off and all that kind of shit, and when and basically made it sound like the cops just pulled out his gun and opened fire. Um, the uh, the whole thing with that is here's my issue. You tell the officer you have a gun. He tells you to get your hands up. She's like, he was going for his wallet. No, at no time do you put your hands out of sight when you just got done telling an officer you got a gun. I don't even do that because I got pocket knives in there. I tell them I got stuff in the truck, and I keep my hands in plain sight. I don't keep my wallet in my pocket when I'm driving. I mean, I act with some common sense. Uh, let's see here. I just wish cops use more of less than lethal weapons, but it's easy to say that when you're not a cop. And that's the truth. Like yesterday, as the story is being reported, this guy decided to use his vehicle as a weapon, and that'll do some serious damage. That'll do. I mean, you've got a dozen officers injured as of right now. So it was the last statistic that I heard this morning. But you know, how was the Jungers hearing? Like I said, you guys, the Jungers case, there wasn't. It's basically the prior to Peggy Ellenkamp attorney said that they were not going to contest any of the evidence. I'm just hearing, well, now they're dragging out for time, so now they decided to contest something. They're and there's really nothing to contest. They're just dragging it out to get time. So now they have to have a uh, uh, basically a conference to sit down and decide what they're going to admit into evidence and what they're not going to admit into evidence. But uh, from told to me by Amanda and Jerry Jungers that the judge was quite irritated with the fact because when you go on court record and you say that they're not contesting any of the evidence and then you turn around and then you're going to contest the evidence, not a good thing. Judge wasn't prepared for that, and it's not really a good thing. I think basically what is the Ellen Camp side is trying to buy time. Basically, it's a lawyer tactic to drag ass and draw out a shit ton of money out of her, whatever money she's got left. So uh, they should build Jamar Clark's family for the cost due to them raising an idiot. Oh man. Oh, uh, uh, isn't that the same couple that was found out that they did drugs in their vehicle with their child in it? Actually, what it was is North Andy Bourne. What it was is Jamar Clark when they did the autopsy found out that he had marijuana in his system, and you know that he'd been a regular user. Um, and you're talking a guy who'd been pulled over for the same taillight issue numerous times. And it's not that I want to downplay the fact that somebody lost their life. Okay, it's always tragic when somebody loses their life. Always, no matter which end it is, it's always a tragic situation. But the issue then becomes, okay, you're a conceal and carry holder. You work in a school. You're high on drugs. You have uh, numerous incidences where you get picked up. Uh, you get numerous incidences of being pulled over for the same taillight violation, brake lights not working, and then you proceed to do the right thing. You tell the officers that you have a gun in the car, which means you keep your hands present at all times and you wait for the officer to give you instructions on what to do. Some people say, well, I don't have to tell a cop that I've got a gun in the car, and you're right, you don't. But if you want to make sure everybody's safe, you do that. But the problem is when the officer is screaming at you repeatedly, get your hands up, and you continue to go for your wallet, the officer has no other option. So, uh, yeah. Police departments do have other means of less lethal force, because we've seen, like in Scottsdale, Arizona, the officers down there, they tend to abuse that down there. The gentleman now who has filed a federal lawsuit down there because they tased him 12 times. He was hung up in a seatbelt, could not comply with the officers, as the officers are dragging him out of this car, tasing him because he's hung up in a seatbelt. So, oh, Graham Allen received a letter from Facebook saying praying for the president is hate speech. I've never known Facebook to say anything like that. But definitely have to check into that. Look into that. I know Facebook is under some serious, serious scrutiny right now for violating. Mark Zuckerberg was brought in front of Congress some years ago about sharing information and the particular types of information he was sharing, um, and was uh, basically they found evidence. They say they found evidence of letters of him corresponding with some of his top staff about how do they ride the razor's edge on this to continue to make money and do what they're doing. Zuckerberg, of course, denies it, but he denied it last time too. Until he was brought in front of Congress. So we'll see what happens. Uh, yeah. So and right now the push is for Facebook to be broken up. How far they plan on breaking it up, I do not know. I don't know what it is they plan on doing. But Ruger, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Uh, I did listen to Joe Rogan's interview with a Twitter executive. I forget what is his name. What is the other guy's name? The guy that's always right in the middle of the fence, but they bring him on, Tim Pool or something like that. His name is. Tech. What is that other guy's name that you like? I can't remember his name. Tim Pool. Thank you. But Tim Pool and Joe Rogan sat down and did a deal with the Twitter executives and talking about their platform and how it is they decide to ban people from it for simply having their own opinions. Also talking about people. One of the big debates that came up, and my wife and I actually talked about this. Uh, you have what they call trans women, which is men who identify as women, now getting into female sports. Why? Because they suck at male sports, so let's go in and dominate female sports. And because everybody's trying to accommodate this bullshit, unbiological phenomenon, uh, you've got men stepping into women's cages in MMA, like punk bitches, stepping into women's cages and beating the piss out of them. But because if you say that you deny them the right or the ability to do such things, guess what happens? Guess what happens? You get sued. And you even have uh, feminists, you have hardcore feminists, you have female athletes who have now come to the forefront saying that these are not women biologically. They should not be making decisions or participating in women's sports. Biologically, they are still men. They still have the chromosome and gene structure of a man, which in turn makes them stronger. So this has been a constant debate, and now if a female gets on there and says that there's no way a man can ever biologically be a woman, Twitter is considering that hate speech and deleting them and banning their accounts. And Twitter says, "Well, we're trying to protect them from bullying." Okay, I understand if it's target harassment. Now, let's say I went in and I started targeting uh, Bruce Jenner or whatever its name is nowadays. But anyways, if I went in there and I started targeting Bruce Jenner, okay, and I started saying some just ignorant stuff and saying stuff and doing whatever, I could understand being banned. But the thing is, they're very subjective in their banning because again, Carlos Maza, who has targeted people for I don't know how many years on Twitter, has targeted them, and they've done nothing. I really like to see somebody ask some questions about the shit that he's done, and his shit is never pulled. His shit's never pulled down. They never do anything about it, and he targets people directly. But again, they're like, "Well, I'm not aware." I love this. I call it the Hillary Clinton. I'm not aware. I'm not aware. I'm not aware. I call it. If you listen to Hillary Clinton in her testimony in front of Congress, I'm not aware. Thousands of emails says you are. So here's this is the issue that I have with all this shit. Okay, on all this stuff, when we talk about social media, I'm targeted by social media. I'm targeted by Facebook. I'm targeted by every social media platform. When I get out there, I have to be very careful what I do. Why? And that's the main thing. So far Twitch has been, as long as I stay within their terms of service, Twitch has been very very good to us. So, and that's the thing. I don't understand this. Okay, so you're saying on biological proof that you can call that hate speech when somebody says a man can never be a woman, and you're talking an ultra left. God, what the hell was her name? But anyways, an ultra left female feminist hardcore says that you can never. And her big issue in arguing with these sports people is these athletes is you say you identify as a woman, but you don't. You're not developing any of the characteristics of a woman. You're simply saying I identify, and you're participating in sports. So, I mean, the question then becomes: is who's right? I tend to agree with the fact that you know if you are biologically a man, your body is built in a separate deal, which causes you to perform at a different level than a woman. That's where I stand on it. You talk about like they were talking about track events. Now you got to understand, we're one of the very few countries that's even tolerating this stuff. Uh, so would it be wrong to target Redneck Tech about his soon to be former girly beard? Oh no, he didn't. He didn't.
Oh yeah!
Gus says some days I identify as a child. Good morning, Justin. Good to see you. Uh, what? What? Just remember.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
It's a new button for your beard, buddy. Uh, so I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? I'm curious as to what you have to say. My wife actually chimed in on this before I even said anything. My wife chimed in on it, and she agrees with the fact that people, men identifying as women, should not be making decisions for women, biological women, because these people will never go through these uh, same things as a woman's body goes through. You know, talk about the menstrual cycle. They will never go through that. They are women. But biologically, they can't be. It's not possible. Can't change your DNA. Justin, I've been identifying as a lottery winner for like 10 years. I'm still waiting on my check. Just like this white privilege, I've still been trying to find the line for this shit because I've been waiting for mine. There's so many things wrong with this identity culture. There absolutely is. And this, again, becomes the main issue. I identify as a fisherman. They're finding that young men who become women have extremely high suicide rates. Let's talk about. Here's another thing. They're so willing to comply with this. There's a prisoner, a guy doing life down in Florida for murder, who identified as a woman, fought in the courts to have his rights as a woman, was sent to a women's prison, and guess what? Wasn't there a week and was already involved in sexual relationships with a woman. Guess what happened? His ass is going back to a men's prison. Will be kept in solitary confinement the rest of his fucking sentence because he tried to play the system and lost. You know, so the question is here's the question, and I pose it to you in the sense, okay, do men who identify as women have the right to make decisions as a woman? That is the question right now. Do men who identify as women have the right to make a choice for women? And so far I'm getting a bunch of no's. I will say no. I will tell you no because I don't care how you identify. Men and women's body were completely different. Mad, but he did get laid. Yeah, I've got constant no's coming in right now. So the question again is, does a man who identifies as a woman have the right to make choices for women? And it would definitely work the opposite, in the opposite direction. Do women identifying as men uh, have the right to make choices for men? Um, and this is the argument in the Progressive Party, as they call themselves, in the over on the left side. This is an argument that they are having over there. This is a legitimate mainstream argument they're having over there in and amongst themselves. This is seriously an argument they're having over there. Oh yeah. So I haven't seen a single yes come over the shit talker yet. So right, Gus. But here's the thing: you have to, in order to be objective about this, you have to keep God out of this situation. Just looking at it from a human perspective. But you're right. There's you know less than 1% of the world is hermaphrodite, and usually those people pick a gender and they stick to it. They don't bounce back and forth uh, between the two. But yeah, so in either case, uh, you know, men identifying as women. What do you think about men who identify as women competing in women's sports? That's the next question I have for you. How do you feel about men who identify as women competing in female athletics? Got another no. Men are killing it in women's sports. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's Joe Rogan. As you guys know, is a MMA commentator, as well as an MMA combatant. Uh, you know, Joe's no slouch. Joe's no slouch by any means. I mean, he's very up to date. He was one of the people involved with the revamping of MMA in the United States as we know it. Um, his commentary and his education in the field. But like he said, now you've got these guys identifying as women, and because the law makes us treat these people as such, with all the shit that Obama did, these guys get to walk in to a female's cage. Not only are they much bigger in size, um, they're literally just mollywopping them. Half the females now are just turning down the fight. They're like, it's not worth it. I have a career in this. I'll take the loss. They can have it. Um, basically what these guys are doing is they're targeting. Maybe I should go identify as a woman for a while and go in there and beat the piss out of them. Maybe I'll get some guys to train me and make sure that I know the rules well enough to get into a professional cage, and maybe I'll go in and these guys identifying as women. Maybe I'll go in there and see how they like it. That'd be like letting him use steroids. Uh, and these special genders were men or women or men. Maybe they should have their own division in the sports and they can fight amongst each other if they want a sport. I actually agree with that. Here's the deal. I agree with that. Call it identity sports. Put them in with Ronda Rousey. Oh, Jay Joe, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Call it the Trans World League. It'd be very interesting to see how this actually works out. Um, I know there's a lot of MMA events that, as I did a little research on it, a lot of MMA events are not tolerating it anymore because of the fact that it is damaging to their athletes. But there are some that are being forced to comply. So, um, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Uh, I'm to the point where to pick a fucking team and stay on it. Chris, here's the thing. It's not a matter of them picking a team. They're staying on the team. You've got these guys identifying as females, but they're I believe, and this is my honest opinion, they're doing it wholeheartedly wholeheartedly because they suck at men's sports. They suck at it. And they're doing this in and of the sense to feel like they've accomplished something. I remember when I was in high school, there was a female who wanted to get into uh, boys' sports. And it wasn't because she identified as a man, it was because her athletic ability brought her above and beyond the female ranks. Uh, I don't know about the locker room situation. That was not discussed in any of the things that I checked out. But again, you had, when I was growing up, you had females who wanted into male sports. Like we had a female who wanted to play boys hockey because the female hockey league was not competitive for her. It was a big debate. It's like, well, we don't want to put her on the ice with these guys, but and there was a female wrestler, and the thing was, is it's like, okay, hold on. Let's talk about this. You don't have enough girls who want to participate in wrestling, but here you have a girl who wants to wrestle. Okay. Uh, yeah, if you choose to get into a harder class, and I was all for it. I actually supported it. I was actually in support of that. It wasn't that she was a girl identifying as a boy or anything like that. This girl for hockey was just really, really good at hockey. She was legit. She was legit. She was a good hockey player. And now you have women's leagues, and back then you didn't have a lot of women's leagues in sports like that. You didn't have a lot of female hockey teams that were available. You didn't have female wrestling teams that were available. So, and that's the thing. That's exactly the thing. It's like if you're going into a harder class, I don't believe in denying that. But you got these punk ass dudes, who get their asses handed to them by men, and they are dudes. They still have their junk in place. Okay, they don't have boobs. They're simply saying I identify as a female. Peanut butter, what's happening? Good to see you. Welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show. Uh, Here's the thing. Uh, and it's one thing like you get into small towns like I grew up, and you have limited availability for certain athletics. Okay, you have limited available athletics. So when you talk about a female getting involved in hockey or wrestling, it just wasn't available to them. There was not a female league. Uh, got one to go. Pink helmets, everybody. Pink helmets. Let's load the chat up. Peanut butter, you got you some. You got you a whole round of pink helmets coming at you. Uh, Tech, I got one to go. So, or actually, thank you very much. So, yeah, we don't tolerate that kind of shit here. It isn't even worth arguing with stupidity anymore. It honestly has gotten to the point where it bores me. I love trolls, but it's like the trolls that come in here are just ignorant. They're stupid. Like seriously, stupid. That guy wasn't even worth pulling the fucking helmet out for. I didn't even have to go pick up the helmet. It's just not worth it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, no, I mean we've got guys that come in here like Dog Balls comes in here, and you'd think he was a troll, but Dog Balls is actually very active on Twitch, and we've got a lot of people that come in here and Twitch. Got just, I mean, look at Utter Idiot. I mean, seriously, you would think that's a troll, but it's not. So I always give people a chance before I start throwing it out there, and trolls will usually burn themselves down as soon as they get a little attention. Uh, Oh, yeah. I'm, well, I mean, look at the redneck tech. He's an idiot. You know, smart when it comes to computers, but that's some hick ass shit. uh, I can't wait for the beard drop, buddy. I can't wait for the beard drop.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
See, no matter your insults, infidel, you still lose that precious beard. Feel the love following here this morning. Every time I think about his beard, that the song "Bodies" comes to my mind. I can't play it because I'll get hit with a copyright deal. We've got large enough now to where we start getting hit with copyright stuff, and they'll pull the stream down and all that shit. It's like, oh man, come on. You know, and the thing is if these guys, I guarantee you, if these guys found out, because YouTube pays them every time somebody watches their videos, I guarantee you that, uh, it's like this. If I tell, I don't know, take anybody, take Godsmack, take, who else do we play? Aerosmith, any of them other guys. You take any of those guys and you say, hey, this guy's playing your music on the morning show, but he's playing it off of YouTube. They're like, sweet, we're getting paid. It's like, oh, hey, up church, I tried playing your shit, but I got demonetized for it. So, yeah. And I was playing it off of YouTube. I didn't pirate some shit. I just played it off of YouTube. So you're still getting credit for it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think the chat's got their coffee in this morning because we brought up some pretty serious issues. I think they're all sleeping. You know, we should be over the hump. It's freaking Thursday. Tanya says trying to get the kids out the door. I did get my booster yesterday. I'm gonna try and get it hooked up this weekend. Try it out probably Sunday. It looks like it's supposed to rain here all day Saturday, so but Sunday the Miss Lolly and I are gonna go out and do some fishing. We're gonna try out this whole booster. Bubba, good morning, good to see you. Jody says lurking, trying to get some dishes done. Nice. Chris is like, no coffee yet. Shut up, asshole. It's too early to think that hard. But I mean, I can sit here and go. Thank you, Gus. I greatly appreciate them 100 biddies. We're making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler. Hey, Tech, why don't you throw out some bagpipes out there? I don't care. Do them on the house. Throw out some bagpipes out there. I mean, maybe that's what we need to wake some people up. Oh, no. Why would we do this? Ricochet Red. Redneck Invasion. Thoughts on the NRA board members stuffing their pockets. I'm an NRA member, but it has rubbed me the wrong way thinking about supporting the GOA more. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what organization you get into, all the board members, it doesn't matter what they are, the board members always get rich off of these things. Always do. It's been the deal, but they're sticking up for a good cause. You know, knowing what you know, knowing the fact. Yeah! Fuck you and your bagpipes. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Son of a... Oh, not like getting your ears fucked first thing in the morning. Oh. It is, and here's the thing, Ricochet. I will tell you, you know, like somebody like me, I'm a convicted felon, and the NRA is one of the people that is actually a large enough organization that is standing up and advocating for guns, guys like me to get my gun rights back. I mean, my last felony was in 2004. Okay, I have not committed any serious crime other than a speeding ticket outside of that. So the question then becomes, you know, do I support them? As you can see, I have a sticker in the background. Um, it's hard to say that because we don't like thinking about the fact that these people are using our money and putting it in their pockets, but at the same point in time, they're the ones standing in front of Congress, and they're the people that are pissing off all the anti Second Amendment people. They're pissing them off to no avail. So I will continue to support them just because of that factor and the fact that they have gotten some things changed. Now, if the government departments put in place would do their freaking job, um, I would actually be more on that. Boss lady, good morning. Good to see you back in here. Um, so it's a tough call. You take a lot of them like Goodwill. People donating stuff to Goodwill and Salvation Army and things like that. And you've got a lot of people, a lot of these nonprofit organizations that they're charity organizations, but it's the people on the board who are getting their nonprofit because the people on the boards continue to get raises. Although Salvation Army, I don't believe is nonprofit. I believe they are incorporated, if I'm correct in that. Big Dome, good morning. Rich, good morning. Good to see y'all. Welcome back to the Invasion Nation Morning Show. Um, and it, Ricochet, that I fought with that for a long time because I was a member of the NRA when I was legal to carry guns, and then I quit because I got tired of them having all this money. But at the same, it's like, what is the organization actually doing? Are they actually doing what they said? They are doing what they said, or what they've set out to do. Standing in front of Congress, putting lobbyists up there, petitioning for and keeping the Second Amendment to its truest form. You know, I've heard so many bullshit interpretations of the Second Amendment in the last few years. It's absolutely asinine. You know, and hashtag unban DOCD. Who's DOCD? Yeah, forgive me, Dr. Zigzag. I'm an idiot. uh, Loose, welcome to the morning show. Good to see you. Uh, uh, Nowadays, being pro gun is suicide for business in many cases. That's what the mainstream media would like you to believe. I know a lot of businesses that are pro gun and actually encourage their employees to, if they have them, bring them. Yeah. They didn't do much for bump stock, not that I owned one, but uh, Trump's recent comments on suppressor ban has me worried they'll roll over again. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things with that Ricochet that I strongly agree with you that Matt Ram brought that up last week about his Trump's constant flip flopping in his Second Amendment support and the things that we have to remember one thing, okay? The Second Amendment was given, and this is why I believe in the Constitution as it is written. The Constitution, the first three words say, "We the people." The Second Amendment, when they wrote the Second Amendment was written to protect us from the government. So, what is a government? What were the founding fathers thinking of when this happened? That the government is eventually going to try and disarm the citizens, just like a 2-year battle that they fought to gain our independence. They were not ignorant of this. You give the wrong people that kind of power and that kind of control. Okay. And that's the thing. You give those kind of people that kind of control. Our forefathers, our founding fathers, were not ignorant to this. Okay. So when you talk about this, what is the government's main deal? Because at the time, and I don't care who wants to argue with this with me, they're like, oh, all they had was black powder muskets. No, they didn't. They had repeater guns back then. They had repeater guns. They had all sorts of different guns. The reason the government, the military didn't have them then is because they didn't have the federal budget for them. But they were still available to the market. You know, if you go look at the guns that were available at the time of the Revolutionary War, you will see all sorts of stuff. Uh, we have a troll PMing people. Oh, yeah? Mandy Muser. Really? Wow. Wow. That's really nice of them. Guys, if you don't know who is sending you these whispers, don't open them. Simply just block them, ban them, do whatever it is. So back to the Second Amendment deal. Here's the deal. You know, the government's goal is always to have more power. The forefathers' intentions. Security software. All right, boss lady. Thank you very much. Appreciate that subscription. Now you got your placards, you got the pink helmet emoji, and all the other stuff that comes with it. Uh, Here's the thing. I want you guys to understand something as far as where I stand on this. Okay, at the time that the Second Amendment was written, uh, the quick and simple answer is we had the availability to the same exact weapons the military had. The military had no better weapons than we had. Plain and simple. Everything that was available to the military was available to us. And we, the people, the Constitution was given to us, the people, not we, the government, or you, the government. It was given to us as we, the people. Also, during the break, guys, go to the bottom of the channel, check out our security software, find out how the Redneck Tech keeps the Redneck Invasion safe. The Invasion Nation Morning Show is safe. Uh, Guys, by all means, get the software. It is good stuff. Zero, what's happening? Good to see you. I see you change your screen name back. Welcome back. Yeah. So, guys, if you're looking for some good security software for your stuff, everything I've got is protected by this. This is why people who try to hack me have a very bad day. So, make sure you check it out. Bottom of the Twitch page. I don't know if the Redneck Tech can put a link up for it right in chat. But definitely get it if you can get it through the Twitch page, and yeah, click on it, check it out. It does cost you a little bit, but it is well worth it. And as you can see, I don't get hacked, and I am a number one target. You guys see this? These people try to hack me constantly, and this is what prevents it. So we're gonna go to a coffee break. Hopefully you fuckers wake up. Let's do something, and yeah, we'll be right back. that one's gonna hurt for a little while. Yeah. Oh. Misstepped at the bottom of the steps. Took the dive. I took the dive. It hurts, but we'll be alright. This weather is perfect. Take your time to wake up. Weather nice, cool, and sunny. Where did everyone go? Hopefully everybody went and got some fucking energy somewheres. Yeah. Damn it, Graceful. That's about it. It is Thursday. I got 2 more days. About 1,000 miles to boogie in 2 days. So, Muskie Fisher, what is happening? Good to see you. So, I have dubbed our Suburban. I call it the dark side. As you guys know, I am a Chevy guy. Going to Scotty McCreery tonight. Fuck, I wish I had time to do something in my life. I don't have time to do shit. Morning show, work, bed. Morning show, work, bed. That is my life, day in, day out. How do I make time? Where do I make time at? Please help me make time. Time machine. Somebody buy me a fucking DeLorean. uh, yeah, I see my wife like 45 minutes to an hour and a half a day. Yeah. I say the same thing. I can sleep when I'm dead. But the problem is my wife needs sleep. So the problem is trying to find a job that pays what I'm making now to be able to take care of my bills and cut hours. And that's not going to happen. So that is the issue. Redneck Tech and my wife have been adamantly on the search for me to find something because I've got drivers that'll take this driver's seat that I'm in, and would love to do it, and would love to actually get and do it, make some money and that kind of stuff. I just want to free up more time, one, so I could do maybe do something like an evening show or something like that, and do some more content during the day, but also spend more time with my wife. I literally don't get home. Like last night, I didn't get home until almost 10 o'clock, and a quarter to 10, and we're usually in bed by 10 or 10:30. Need a second shift job, and that's the problem. Welcome to Wilmer. I mean, I got offered $14 an hour for a 40-hour a week job, which is good, but it doesn't pay my bills. My child support literally would wipe out the majority of what I make there. So that means my insurance, my truck payment, and that stuff is not covered. So, yeah. And they say, oh, well, you can get your child support redone. Well, yeah, if you want to pay to go back into court, you know, absolutely. Uh, Need a date night. Yeah. The only date we have is on stream while I'm fishing. That's about as date as it gets, and then we're both taking turns running equipment. Uh, Uh, it is what it is. It will get better. And that's the tough part. That's the thing. What I explain to people about what I'm doing. You know, they're like they say, well, you know, it's they think it's all fun and roses, but you don't understand somebody like me and the sacrifices that have to be made in order to do this. So, you know, um, it just is what it is. I mean, we'll get there. I'm not worried about it. We'll get there. You know, your guys' support and stuff like that. My goal is to be a full time streamer and creating content and doing stuff across platforms. By the way, if you've not seen my new review video on YouTube, make sure you go check it out. By all means, check it out, check it out, check it out. Uh, that's the problem, Tanya. If it weren't for driving, I probably would be a deadbeat dad right now because $1,500 a month is fucking ridiculous. That is absolutely asinine. And the problem is uh, in order to fight it and change it, you know, it's easy to say that, but when I've got to work my ass off 70 hours a week to pay the bills in two separate households, that's not right. Especially when they tell you that the average cost of raising a child in the state of Minnesota, and this is on the high side, is $750 a month. So that means that, you know, each parent is on the hook for $375 a month. But I'm paying that plus, you know, I'm paying that for both kids. I'm paying the average cost of living for both my kids, which means, according to the Department of Health and Human Services figures, um, the mothers are paying nothing. You know, child support is a very, very sore subject for me. I fully agree that, you know, I should have the choice to, you know, that I should be responsible for my kids. But in my daughter's situation, where the mother's basically just used me for a paycheck, I don't think that's right. MM, good morning, good to see you. You know, you can say what you want, but if she's chosen to raise this child by herself and has done nothing but fill this child's head full of garbage about me to where this child wants nothing to do with me, then she's made the choice to raise this child. I should not just be a paycheck. You know, and that's my moral deal. There's getting to be more street beggars that do it to pay the bills. They literally take home hundreds a day. They've done reports on the news about it past. Maybe try that. Believe it or not, that was a serious conversation between the Redneck Tech and I, because when I go to St. Cloud, they've got corners that these guys are working, and they are seriously, seriously making money. They got a group of them that have got like three or four ideal corners that they pick up, and they make money doing it. Uh, uh, I'm just joining, so missed what's being said. Moved to the Twin Cities suburbs for more work options. I actually moved out here from the Twin Cities. The problem is then the judge in Hennepin County and a judge in Wright County decided, when they were reevaluating my child support, decided to hand my kids' mom a $1,300 or $30,000 judgment for rear child support. Uh, and we've been paying that down, but it's been a struggle. Um, the other deal with that is you know, I make good money. I honestly do. I make very good money. But the problem is with that, they also raise my child support to a ridiculous rate, and they say, well, it's if the child was living with you. Well, there is no way in hell that I would be spending $750 a month on my child. I've sat and done the math. Putting this kid in good clothes, and raising that child the way that I would raise him, there's no way I would be spending $750 a month on this child. None. And then here's the worst part of it. My son was living with me, and the child support said, "Oh, we're not discontinuing your child support. You have to take that back to court." So when I asked the attorney, "What's the cost to go back to court?" He says, "About 10 grand." After I just spent $25,000 to get custody of my son. So let's figure that out. You know, uh, no, and here's the thing, Gus. It doesn't do you a damn bit of good to campaign the government because DHS answers to nobody but themselves. Their first rule in their mission statement says for the best interest of the child. Well, what good is it? How is it in the best interest of the child when my son was living with me that I'm paying $500 a month in child support for this one kid to a mother to a house where he doesn't even live? Uh, Scott Stillman said it also. He said the child support system is broken. It is absolutely broken. Campaign for me to get into government. Oh, I'm telling you, the first thing I would attack is the Department of Health and Human Services, and not just on the child support. And the child support end is absolutely ridiculous. No, but it costs way more to split families. Can't share lots of the resources, so you have to pay double for them. Yeah, and here's the thing. Tech just put it out right there. I have been offered to get into government. I have been offered to run for a multitude of things, but here's the problem. Uh, I wouldn't be able to be me because then I'm put in a position, like, for instance, walking into Bolt and Mink. I would not be able to do that in a government capacity in the way that I did it. Because wherever I'm representing or whatever I'm representing could get sued. I have more options as a citizen, and that's the reason a lot of political commentators, that's the reason a lot of these guys who are really, really good at this stuff don't get into politics as far as government capacity because of the fact that their voice means more on the outside. Well, let's take Donald Trump, for instance, who, by the way, is under huge criticism, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Uh, let's talk about Donald Trump. Uh, let's. Uh, when you talk about voices on the outside, let's see here. I'm looking something up here really quick. Uh, you know, you talk about a lot of people and their influence on the outside. When you're in a government capacity, outside of Donald Trump, most people, uh, outside of Donald Trump, you have to watch what you say. Donald Trump's got billions of dollars to lean back on. I mean, if for somehow or another they do kick him out of office, okay, you won that one, but I'm still a billionaire. I still got businesses worldwide. Now what? Uh, I wouldn't get so mad about child support, but when the kids don't get it, or it is used to purchase fish houses, new vehicles, ATVs, snowmobiles, shit like that, that's what pisses me off. The money should go into an account for the kids, so when they need something, it's there. Here's the thing. DHS started doing this accountability account deal where mothers and fathers who were receiving child support had to prove uh, what they were using the money for. They stopped doing that because it wasn't cost effective to monitor the program. They had it for a couple of years because when I had one child, I started paying out $1,100 a month for child support, and I said, "How the hell is this possible?" Well, they said, and the judge is like, and I said, and it was the same thing. She went and bought a house, making a house payment, bought a new car. I said, how is this possible? Why am I paying for this? Why this isn't what you told me this was about. So here's the deal. Uh, you know, when it came to the child support deal, so they had this accountability account. And then all of a sudden my child support dropped down to $289 a month. But then it cost them too much to monitor that, so they quit doing that. They quit doing that. So, uh, I may get in trouble for not reporting my husband back in the home, even though I applied for medical assistance for him and now food. Support is saying they don't know. Uh, reporting. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't honestly understand exactly what Donald Trump was saying either. They asked him, we're asking him about getting information from somebody about his opponents and things like that. And he basically said, who the hell wouldn't be listening? You know, who the hell wouldn't listen to it? Most people would listen. And Donald Trump says, I've never called the FBI. There is some serious concern in that, being the fact that he just got done with an investigation for Russian collusion, and I don't know, maybe this is a thing for him to just stir the Democrats into a fucking frenzy. Maybe that's his thing. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a political tactic or ploy. I don't know. Um, and let's face it. Donald Trump is a strategist. I don't know. I don't know his reasons behind saying what he said. His comments were that he's never used the FBI and that people should listen. Uh, he wouldn't report a foreign power contacting him with it. Right. And I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't I don't understand why he would say that, being just coming out of the backside of a collusion investigation. But like I said, maybe it's just to piss in Democrats' Cheerios. I honestly don't know. Or maybe it's so that way they just keep watching him, watching him, watching him, and seeing that he's doing nothing. And I honestly don't know. The thing that is hurting Donald Trump right now in polls is the way he talks, the things that he talks, and going flying off the handle. That is that's hurting him in the polls realistically, because a lot of people have this image of a president in their head, and when you have a president, uh, you know, they have this image in their head of what a president should do and act like. Now, granted, Donald Trump has done everything he said he's set out to do, but it's one of them things. Do you let actions speak louder than words? Because I mean, let's face it. Uh, you know, this guy can't even take a dump without somebody watching him. So I mean, if he was having, uh, if he was getting this kind of information, if he was getting this kind of information, we'd all know about it. Um, One part of DHS apparently doesn't share information with another. I used to have one caseworker for everything. Yeah, no, not anymore. Uh, my ex tried saying that I was just going for money. I tried telling her that it used to be that it gets used for things including and not limited to housing, clothing, food, about $480 a month. Uh, all that gets used up and then some. But I'm against her paying anymore because she needs to live too. It's complicated and sucks. Uh, like I said, here's I've made this debate before. Okay, and I'm gonna break down. My family members haven't fought for our country for that. I don't agree. He has done everything he set out to do. Everything. He has been such a letdown to my family. Uh, what See, Cam, here's the thing. I want to point something out. Everything that he has said he was going to do in his election speech, he's done. Um, and you're talking about a president who has had more adversity, uh, not only in the 90 percentile of negative press, has set out to and continue to do things. Uh, our economy's up, the unemployment rate is way down all the way across the board. The border security is being built. Um, Mexico is paying for the wall. People are they handing over cash immediately? No. But guess what happens? We've now brought all the manufacturing back. We're bringing manufacturing back at an all-time rate from Mexico. You have companies moving out of Mexico back. You have the big three moving their plants back to our investments are hurting now. How are they hurting? Well, what investments? What investments are hurting? I'm curious to see where this goes now and what investments are hurting because we're working out a huge trade deal with Canada. We've just sealed one of the best deals ever for with Mexico. Um, we're bringing back manufacturing back to Detroit. I just don't understand mutual funds. You're talking market share mutual funds? I guess I don't understand exactly how that's exactly I don't understand exactly how that's working as far as that goes. I know a lot of people have said that even in the Obama administration that mutual funds and everything else are absolutely uh, personally my grandpa personally and my grandpa father-in-law who farm suffering can't sell. Um, our retirement investments have been that has been the issue for debate for since the recession. I mean, lots of people took hits on that. That didn't come through uh, that's market fluctuation. That just happens. That happens no matter what. They go up, they go down. That's why a lot of people are investing in gold coin. That's why a lot of people are investing in bits or what do they call that? Um, it's just that's one of the things that just happens with those. Lots of I mean, look at all. You look at the investments. You're talking your retirement investments. Um, the market fluctuates on that. And it's hard to sit here and blame that on Donald Trump when you can't blame that on Donald Trump because the thing is the stock market has done better under Donald Trump than it's ever done in history. It all depends on where the investors or whoever's handling that where they've had it invested. If they invested it in Chinese companies and overseas companies, well, absolutely, your shit's going to go down. Uh, yes, yes, that's exactly why you diversify. That is one of the biggest things that they were preaching after the recession is diversification in your retirement investments. A lot of people have gone to precious metals, gold coins, things like that. Um, there's been a lot of stuff that people diversify because the honestly the market IRAs and things like that are absolutely unreliable and have been proven such for a long time. Started way back in the Clinton administration when people's retirement investments were going through the roof because the housing market was booming. Well, here it was all paper bullshit. You had financing companies financing people on four, five, six houses that didn't have it. It's the tariff threats. Our friends have no foreign place to ship lobsters because the trade thing is. I mean, the only place that's really being affected now because with the deal with Mexico and the deals we're working out with Britain and the things that are working out with uh, Canada, I don't understand how they're hurting. I don't get that. Um, truthfully, I don't understand that because for once, your personal friend, uh,
Oh yeah!
but who's hurting? That's what I don't understand. Agriculture's been hurting for a while. I have looked into it, but when you look at an economic whole, if you this is the problem because at one time it affects one person, uh, businesses in Maine. But where are they trading to? That's my question. Well, yeah, Okay, I'm not an expert in every part of business, and I can tell you that. Okay, um, there are other places to ship things to. And even the farmers in my area, when the Chinese tariffs and stuff started happening, they said, you know what? It's going to hurt right now, but the long term is we're actually going to be more stable. We're going to make more money, and it's going to work. Because you know one thing that China needs from us right now, really badly? They need straw, they need hay, they need lots of it. And you can't the markets. Here's the thing: when you're talking a commodity market, I want to I want to explain something. Farming, like uh, uh, agriculture, commodities, things like food, lobsters, things like that. When and I'm not an expert in this, but this is just my opinion on it, and this is what I've understood. Okay, you know, we're in a war because China has done nothing but cost taxpayers. See, the thing is, you might get paid more. They might be uh you might get paid more. He might say, "Well, I'm making more money selling lobsters." Well, here's the thing though. The money he is making then turns around because of import export costs with China. I understand that, but you're talking temporary pain for a long term gain. So we should just reverse the process. We should continue to let China steal from us, cost taxpayers money in shipping, continue to push American companies all the way out of business. We should continue to let China do that. We should continue to let Mexico run over the top of us, right? Even though they just agreed because of the tariff threat and the stuff that Donald Trump was going to impose, that they've agreed to buy large masses of ag product. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. This is the point of a trade war. The wars are not easy. Wars are not an easy thing to deal with, but we do it because in the end we expect better results. And Donald Trump is the first president to walk in here since the Clinton administration said, enough. It is time that Americans start making money because all these little trade deals, all these little people you're talking about, it comes back to the taxpayers when you talk about import and export to these countries. We get hit hard with the export, and they don't get charged anything to import. This started way back in the Clinton administration. So when you talk about your friends, I encourage you to go all the way back to the Clinton administration, go back to the first 4 years of Bill, and I want you to look all the way back to the Clinton administration when we started doing deals with China, and show me and see what it has done with the American people. Let's look at NAFTA. Let reevaluate NAFTA. Look at that. I mean, it's very simple to say, okay, because right now they're hurting. You should have seen my business in the Obama administration. Nobody gave a shit. I don't know how many business owners went out during the Obama administration. If you were a small business making over $100,000 a year, you were getting hit. You were getting your ass handed to you. CCAM, the links that you have to send to Redneck Tech Support. We don't, and it's not anything personal against you. Please understand that. Okay, it's not anything personal against you. Okay, yeah, but and here's the thing. We'll let's see what they got going on here. Lobster exports to China plunge 84% due to trade war. That means you need to find some other place to ship them. You need to find somewhere else to ship them. China's not the only place in the world that eats lobster. That means you're actually going to have to do some work. China. The very country who has been stealing shit from us, that every time they ship something here, it costs taxpayers money because they get to do it for less than cost. So who makes up for that? The American people. So for the sake of your friend who ships to China because they make more money shipping to China, then I should pay more taxes. I should pay more taxes then. I mean, this is what I'm asking. You know, you talk about this right here. What it says right here. 84% exports to China plunge 84% due to trade war. Absolutely, we're in a trade war with China because China has been dicking us in the backside since the Clinton administration. Donald Trump called it out when it first happened. He read the deal. Go back and look at his interviews way back in the Clinton administration. What did he say? He said, this is a bad deal for America, and has been saying it ever since. And you know what? He proved it. He proved it because now what's happening? Ever since he's gone after China, what do we have now? What do we have going on right now? We have a manufacturing. Manufacturing is coming back to the United States. It does. It affects the farmers here. And thank you, Swanee. I appreciate that. Making them dirt road dollars way out yonder, them hollers. Jared, thanks for the follow. Know this. Okay, I want to say this, and I've talked to a lot of farmers about this, and I work for farmers. I work for larger farms, and I work for family-owned farms. I will say this. And that I will say this flat out. They said that they realize that we need to do this. We need to do this for the betterment of our country. It's going to be hard. It is going to be tough. It is tough on everybody. Ask people in the shipping business. Ask people in the trucking business. We've got truck drivers in here who will tell you that loads have gone down. It's getting harder and harder for them to get loads. But you know what? At the same point in time, they know it's for the betterment of this country and an overall whole. I don't disagree with you that these people are hurting. But just like me, I had to find other sources of income. They may not pay it as well. and I couldn't hold out. You know, I mean, I knew lots of people who were opposed to this trade war. But that's the thing. They have brokers that can broker this stuff out. There's lots of other, like me, I have brokers. There's brokers who can broker this stuff out. They can find other places. Yes, are they going to make as much? No. Okay. Are they going to make and it's really easy when you've got somebody buying up mass quantities of stuff, but because they're buying it. Here's the deal. Let's take
Oh,
lobsters for
yeah.
instance. Ryan, thank you for following. Here's the deal, I want to put this out there, and you can agree with me or you can disagree with me. If we're shipping all this lobster to China, and they're getting it for less than cost, they're getting it for less than cost. All right. Guess who has to make up that cost end? Taxpayers. Taxpayers have to make that up. We will pay more because China provides us affordable products, and we will no. See, and that's the biggest misconception. We're already paying more, but you're paying it through taxes. These trade deals that we have with China, we're paying more through taxes because these companies aren't losing money shipping stuff from China. The government covers that, which means it's taxpayer funded. The government covers the loss to the companies, which means you're paying more in taxes that way. But they're shipping, again, you're paying more in taxes because of it. They're shipping stuff over here, okay? They're shipping stuff over here at less than cost. That is true. That is absolutely true. Look it up. That is absolutely true. They're shipping it over here at less than cost. Daughter is having a boy. She said, we babysit. I can start him chewing. LOL. Well, congratulations, Chris. As always, amen. Here's the thing, CCAM. I understand that you want to make this debate, but when every economist now sees the overall, every real economist that isn't trying to be famous, but actually does the research, finds out that China, okay, not only stealing intellectual properties, but the fact that they attack American companies as a whole because of what they've got going on there. So you're telling me that, and right there, well, look at there, Tech took the words out of my mouth. So what you're saying is because of how China does their manufacturing over there. Kids are genetically chosen as to what they will do from the age of 6 years old. And they are groomed to do that very thing, whether it's going to be manufacturing, business, technology, athletics, whatever. Okay. They use child labor. So now because these manufacturing jobs are coming back to the United States, manufacturers are coming back. Here, look at J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney's a large company that's being affected by this. I mean, I don't remember what their stocks were at, but they were the first ones to say, well, you know, uh, this trade deal is going to, and it got people all in an uproar because people liked using J.C. Penney. Why is it we should take the hit? Yeah, okay, it's been nice for people who are dealing with China, your lobster friend. It's been nice for them. I will do that touring. I tried doing that this morning. I'm gonna have the tech get in and help me figure it out. I screwed up on that, and maybe we'll have to get you involved in helping us out with that. Touring. If you've got a Facebook that we can get you involved in our personal Facebook deal. Can you email the or get the link over to tech support? Uh, you seem to know a little more about this, and I appreciate your support here because I know you and I sit opposite of a few viewpoints, and I really respect your opinion in here. So I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Um, Economically, it's not going to help though if they don't have the money they can't spend. That's the problem with our economy as it has been doing business with China for a long time. I would be really curious as to see where you actually get all your news sourcing from, where you're actually getting your sources from. Because if you're watching mainstream media to get all this stuff, yeah, and it's okay to disagree. I'm just telling you, as somebody who is in the transport business, um, I'm telling you, somebody who's in the transport business, this deal with China needed to happen because this China deal with Barack Obama damn near put me out of business. Damn near killed me, actually. We are going to deal with China. But like Donald Trump said, America is going to start making money on all these trade deals because America has been the one taking the punch the whole time. The people of America, because all these trade deals have done nothing but cost taxpayers more and more and more money. Sure, you might put more cash in your pocket immediately, but on the tax end of it, if you haven't noticed, you ask your lobster friends, if you ask your friends in the lobster business, I bet you their taxes went down this year. There's no other way to do it. People have gotten so used to, okay, well, this is what it is. If you haven't noticed, I mean, even my taxes went down this year, and I paid a lot of money in taxes last year. Even my taxes went down a lot. For the first time, in years in transport, uh, I didn't pay over 50%. I didn't pay over 50%. And that's the truth. For the first time in years. And they're saying my taxes are supposed to go down next year again. More people are bringing more money home. Laboring people are bringing more money home. I understand that. My business isn't easy either. I do anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles a day on the road right now. Ask any driver who's got to live on that road constantly. I mean, we got a chat room full of truck drivers that are just lurking and listening from the road. Ask them what it's like. And they're dealing with it now too because there's a lot of people in shipping companies that, okay, yeah, with the exports that came from China, it kept loads rolling. But you know what? They know in the long term, when these manufacturing businesses come back to the United States, and as they open the doors and they start shipping stuff out, uh, the House committee did a meeting yesterday all about the trucking industry. I listened for about 45 minutes. Really? Wow. Truck because I can't strip. uh, Freight is. I know lots of truck drivers that freight is absolutely horseshit right now. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When they hold out, it's going to get better. You know why? Because manufacturing is coming back to the United States. You're going to see more competitive rates for trucking, just like when manufacturing used to be in the United States. You're already behind the times. Transport has been going down. It is down. my company operates or my business right now operates at about a quarter of the size of what it used to be. And it was before the war went with the Chinese. So if you're dropping frames, Grandma, it's got to be on your end. So we're up on our coffee break. CCAM, I greatly appreciate your opinions in here. Touring news, as always. Yeah, I greatly appreciate y'all. And hashtag I'm with the truckers. So we'll be right back. This is actually turning into a good conversation. Thank you guys for stopping and getting in here. We will be back here in a little while.
Dream my father had passed away and gone. I woke up crying late at night when I was very young. my father had passed away and gone.
I could lean in to hold you, or act like I don't even know you. Seems like you could care less either way. Baby, what are we becoming? It feels just like we're always running, rolling through the motions every day. I could lean in to hold you, or act like I don't even know you. Seems like you could care less either way.
Welcome back to the Invasion Nation morning show, brought to you by yours truly, Redneck Invasion. Yeah, uh, going to be demonetized. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to develop a playlist or something. I'll work on that this weekend, Tech. I will find some stuff. I will get on that since it's supposed to rain all day Saturday. I will get on that and I'll make something so we don't have to deal with that anymore. Um, it's even more than banjo music because it's basically whatever's copyrighted. Uh, yeah, the last song was bad. Yeah. CCAM, what you do is you send your links to Redneck Tech, and he checks them out. Loose, sorry if I missed it. Update on court from Olivia. Peggy Allenkamp went to court, and basically, like I said, nothing was really going to happen outside of her attorney decided to pull a trick shot, and what had happened is prior to that, Peggy's attorney said that they were not contesting any of the evidence, and then all of a sudden they come out and said they're contesting the probable cause procedure. The judge, from what I understood, speaking to Amanda and Jerry, that the uh, judge was not really happy with the fact that they did that they went back on what they said. Really, what I think it is her attorney's just buying time to take more money from her, and it is what it is. So, no real big results, no real big news. They're gonna have basically an evidentiary conference where the attorneys and the judge sit down and decide what they're going to allow into trial and what they're not going to allow into trial. Either way, Peggy Allenkamp is hit. So it's just a matter of how hard she gets hit is kind of everybody's concern. So um, we will be doing more and more about it here as a trial date gets set. Um, and we will go from there. So we're not really making a big deal out of it until we get closer and closer to trial. I'm trying to keep things at somewhat peace for the family. Amanda did release a video on the Invasion Nation, putting an update video. I'm just trying to allow the family to have peace and do their stuff. Uh, Gross misdemeanors is what Peggy's being charged with. 4 gross misdemeanor counts, and Trent is being charged with 4 felony counts as a juvenile. As far as I know, those are always subject to change up until the time of trial, in which they could do an upward departure. So, the Hong Kong umbrella protest. Yeah, I've been following that a little bit. So, Hong Kong umbrella protest began in 2014 when the mainland China was trying to change the electoral system with Hong Kong. It continued sporadically this year. An extradition bill is trying to be passed in Hong Kong to allow people to be sent to mainland China for trial. Hong Kongers don't want this, and 1 million people have been protesting over the past 4 or 5 days or so. Yes, they carry umbrellas to protect themselves from pepper spray and try to be passive. Yeah, and here's the thing. This is really interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, Touring. In the midst of everything China's got going on over there, they passed this bill. And here's the thing. Here's Hong Kongers' big debate in this. They said we're not going to be treated fairly over there. We're not going to be treated fairly at all. And you're going to have a bunch of people that don't know the area, don't know the situation. We're not going to be treated fairly. We're not doing this. We don't want any part of this. And the thing is the believe it or not, these damn umbrellas are effective. Like literally, they put these things up like shields. If you guys get a chance, go on YouTube or something and look it up. Google it. The umbrella protests that are happening right now. They just had a big incident yesterday. I mean, literally, the Chinese police force is coming out, and they've got, you're talking pepper spray that comes out of basically a fire hydrant. They wear this big canister on their side, and they spray it, and it's got a hose. And literally, these umbrellas, I can't believe how well this thing does. They literally create a shield all across the front of them and all the way up over the top of them. And you're talking at least 1 million people doing this. It's insane. And what the police force does, they take their batons and they try and break these umbrellas, and then as soon as they break one, another one's in there. I mean, literally, these guys are creating like what would you call it? Like the gladiator style barrier. I think was it the Romans that made that kind of shielding popular? I don't remember exactly. My memory and history eludes me in that. But this was a defense mechanism that they first used for mass assaults of arrows. When they would have these mass assaults of arrows, they would create basically this dome out of their shields to protect them. And they literally look like little huts. Well, this is what they're doing against the pepper spray. So, yeah, that's absolutely insane. And it's Spartans. Thank you very much, the Spartans. Thank you, Janine. And good morning. Good to see you. Mini rods. I thought walls don't work. Umbrella walls certainly do. Matt Ram coming in with the point of the day. I thought walls don't work, but umbrella walls certainly do. Imagine that. If they could do that with umbrellas, what can we do with a bunch of concrete and steel with gun towers? You could get an extra job on local radio. You'd have to be more chill on some things, but you have a good flow and you're really smart. Thank you, CCAM. The problem is because of my political standpoint and the people that I've gone after in my community for the mistreatment of vulnerable adults, misjustices in cases like the Jungers case, nobody will touch me. Because I speak out very loud, very passionately. Local radio is very, very aware of my social media standing, and that's the unfortunate part. I would love to work in radio. I think radio would be absolutely phenomenal. Um, but because of if you go and check out my Facebook page, if you check out my Facebook page, CCAM, which is Redneck Invasion, if you check that out, you'll see I have a much larger following over there. I started out on Facebook and basically have to watch what I say. So JP is sort of radical at times, personally. Yeah, there it is. Check that out, CCAM. Get over there, get involved. I always like people who challenge and respectfully. Just, that's one reason I have the utmost respect for touring news is because even though we sit on the opposite side of the fence on a lot of issues, he can have a respectful debate. So, and absolutely appreciate you coming in here. All opinions are welcome here in the Invasion Nation Morning Show. It's just when people start trolling and doing some absolute asinine stuff, uh, it's at that point in time, it makes it hard because as I've seen a lot of times on the left, if you don't agree with what they're doing, then all they do is they go on a mission to get you banned. Heaven forbid you to have your own opinion in the United States, the land where our First Amendment is freedom of speech. uh, to anyone that ever goes to a protest, take protective eyewear and a helmet and air filter mask to prevent tear gas inhalation, uh, a lot of water to stay hydrated, some Malox to pour on your skin if you've been pepper sprayed. Unfortunately, touring, I'm going to tell you, me personally, because of my former criminal background, I've been pepper sprayed so many times that it really just doesn't affect me anymore. You can actually gain an immunity to this stuff when you get hit with it all the time. So, most it does cause me a little respiratory issue, but as far as my eyes and everything getting all buggered out, just doesn't do it anymore. So, just like tasers, they're fancy tasers. I can usually withstand them pretty good. But if I get hit with three of them, I don't stand so well. I will tell you that right now. Three of them in me in one shot, I don't stand so well. Uh, Free will donation ice cream social today in Bird Island, 4:30 to 7. Uh, Barbecues, turkey and ham sandwiches, beans, potato salad, and pickles, ice cream, and pie of all sorts, lemonade and coffee. Our Savers Lutheran in Bird Island. You guys want to go support Bird Island, have a little family fun, and a cheap meal? Head over to Bird Island. Check it out. Someday I will be a full-time streamer, broadcaster, whatever you want to call it, and I will be able to go to these functions and get my fat boy on. But right now I got to work. Although this is work, by the way. These opinions just don't come naturally. I mean, I actually have to research these issues, and even the guys on my team, the Redneck Tech and other guys, they don't agree with me fully on a lot of issues either. But the thing is it's our opinions. So you could use alias for the job if you need another. It's not so much that I need another job. I need to find a job that pays about what I'm making now with less hours. Uh, and that's the issue. So I can be able to do and create more content to be able to stream more often and do things. See, Cam, just so you understand where I'm at, where I'm at right now is I've been doing this for almost 5 years. Started out on Facebook, made a rant against Black Lives Matters. Well, they went on a mass flagging campaign against me. I had a video that went viral. It went over 4 million people in 48 hours. Facebook pulled it down, put me on the radar. Then had two other videos go viral instantaneously. And people came to like my opinion. And a lot of people agreed with things that I said. They don't, it's very hard to find somebody who agrees with everything you said unless they're just very passive. Um, but uh, the issue then became finding platforms. I've tried other platforms. Tried Snapchat, got banned from there for quote unquote hate speech. Instagram, I haven't quite figured out yet, but I know that's another platform where I would probably have some issues. And finally, Redneck Tech comes to me one day and he says, "You're getting on Twitch." I don't want to do another platform. They all suck. I don't want to do another. I mean, literally drug me over to Twitch kicking and screaming. I mean, literally whipping my ass. Okay. So we started out. I started out, he put a camera on my Xbox, and uh, I started out doing that and figuring it out. And some people from the Invasion Nation over on the Redneck Invasion Facebook page came over, and it took off. Me on camera like that took off immediately. Uh, and boom, here I am. And then I just got this love for streaming. I really like this. And now uh, all of a sudden, I have a new career goal in life that I really want to be a full time streamer. And then I meet people like Fox, uh, who we call the OG of the morning show. Uh, he introduced us to a bunch of people. And speaking of, good morning, Fox. Good to see you. Fox Outdoors in the house, everybody. Make sure you check out his channel, give him a follow. Uh, he was out cane pole fishing for bluegill yesterday. Uh, I was only able to be on there for a little while, but uh, yeah. So Fox just kind of helped us out and get us to learn some things, and through Fox, we got into the fishing community, which we met 30 Says, avid supporter of the morning show here. 30 Says is a uh, uh, become like family to my wife and I, and yeah, and yeah. I seen Vapor yesterday. I think he's been sleeping in lately. You gotta remember he's across the pond from us, so uh, yeah. Uh, and then we've met a few other people in here. Through that, we've met Ohio, who comes in here on a regular basis. And Wolfram Custom Rods, who in which I won one of his drawings. I got a Wolfram Custom Rod, so it's been a really really good experience on here. Uh, so I'm a good streamer. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love how interactive Twitch is compared to others. And here's the thing: like on Facebook, I could do the same thing on Facebook, but here's the problem with Facebook. Facebook does not let me see the comments that everybody puts out there. Uh, and that's really what it is. Um, I definitely do not agree with your opinions, but you are good at discussing respectfully. And that's the thing. I'm not, if you come in here respectfully, respect is something that is mutually given. If you come in here respectfully, despite your opinions, uh, I'm going to definitely do the exact same thing for you. I respect is something that is earned and it is given with respect. So, utter idiot. We were talking about you earlier today. We were talking just nasty, dirty, bad stuff about you. Uh, Not really. uh, I'm on vacation, but normally can't watch this time of day. And that's the thing is, I do want once I get things changed, and I get more towards my goal of being a full time streamer. I want to do something like this in the evening too for the people who can't catch us in the mornings. And that's definitely been a goal of the Redneck Tech and I. Um, so yeah, actually, we were talking about screen names in chat, and people were talking about you could just tell by screen names if they're trolls or not. I said, well, no. I mean, you look at utter idiot, and that would be somebody that you'd see a screen name and automatically think troll, but you become a regular here on the morning show, so you know you can't judge a person by their screen name is what I'm saying. uh I'm the biggest idiot and troll. Hey, look at who shows up to the party. Vapor, good morning. Good to see you. Well, probably good afternoon to you over there, ain't it? Or evening. I don't remember exactly what the time difference is. Ice Cube, good to see you again. You didn't drop the soap, did you? And this is the other thing too is with being able to get a different job and change my work schedule. If and I'm working at that, so one I can extend the morning show by an hour. Ice Cube is not now following. Thank you very much. Um, Being able to extend it so that way the people out on the West Coast have a better opportunity to get in here because I know I am on very early for the people out on the West Coast and people like Hardball. Good night. Yeah. Is it still storming over? No, it's actually turned out to be a pretty decent day today. We're supposed to get some rain Saturday, as far as I know. Matter of fact, we could go check out the old shit talker over here. We haven't done that in a while. Normally, I do that every day, but I have not done that recently. So, let's see what the old shit talker has to say. Uh, Thank you, MM. I greatly appreciate that.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler.
Thursday, we're good today. High of 72, low of 59. Friday, we're good. And of course, one of the 2 days I've got off. We're talking thunderstorms. Let's see what it's saying here. Of course, right about peak fishing time, we're just going to get slammed. Unless I get up early. That means I'll have to leave Lolly in bed. Like if I get up at like 5 a.m. or 5:30 and get out on the lake by 6, I might have a shot. We might try that. I might try to get out there early Saturday morning. And it's supposed to rain all the way until 11 p.m. And then Sunday, supposed to be nice. And here's the problem out here because our water levels are so high right now. All this rain is doing is fucking up really good fishing. So, yeah. Try to do some fishing streaming for you all here this weekend. If you guys were watching last weekend, went out behind Mill Pond Salon and just killed it. You see the hog that I caught is my profile picture all over social media platforms. The picture's gotten rave reviews. So you're very welcome. Love your shows. Thank you very much. I try. Damn rotating schedule. Yeah, Fox. I worked on a rotating schedule for quite a while. Oh, you fish too, did you asshole? All right, see Cam, good to have you in here. Stop in anytime. Uh, Means more fish for ice drinking this winter. I'm definitely good. You guys will probably see me doing a lot of streaming from the fish house because the nice thing about ice fishing is it's a mini house, and I literally will probably end up sleeping out there the majority of the winter. So, um, yeah. Uh, and then tiny home, yeah. We're gonna even see if I can get Lolly to come stay out there with me because the fish house that I'm putting together is a single axle camper. Although I will say this, with the Ruger Ranch came out last weekend. They actually came out in one of those fish house slash campers, the drop axle fish houses. Uh, yeah, with the booster stream will be good. That they actually because I'd been looking at them and these things are like the ones I've been looking at are like 30, 40 grand and it's like cheapers. I can't afford that much. I can't, even with the payment you're talking like $300-400 a month and it's like god, I can't do that right now. Maybe when child support's paid off. But they show up with this really nice one by Cherokee Campers and Cherokee's actually a really good deal and they're like, "Yeah, it was $18,000." And I'm like, "Well, son of a bitch. I need one of those." So we're gonna check it out, and I got a couple of things that'll be paid off that'll free up some extra money, and maybe I might Took out some cement. Absolutely. Concrete Crusher. Hey, that's the name of their camper. We're gonna call it the Concrete Crusher. Yeah. I look forward to trying the signal booster on the boat this weekend. Matter of fact, I need to stop and pick that up so I can get it wired into the boat, and I may have to put in a couple extra outlets for all the stuff. So get Forest River cheap and good. Yeah, because I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not really experienced with these things. Like everybody told me, don't get an ice castle. Well, I went into an ice castle this past winter, checked them out. Uh, all right, MM, we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in as always. And we, I checked those out. One of the things, and Ruger and I had the exact same opinion. First thing you see when you walk into an ice castle is there's a damn hole right there. You really don't have a place to set down your gear when you get in there. Like a lot of people, I see they got their bathroom piled full of stuff. So, and I was like, yeah. I looked at the glaciers. The glaciers are really nice, but the problem is they're really freaking expensive. I mean, to buy a cheap glacier like a Spear House is still like $18,000 or $13,000, and it's like there's nothing in it. Uh, so, all right, Tanya, we'll catch you on the flip side. And yeah, we're gonna have to check out. We're gonna look. Right now, it's not really feasible for us until we get some stuff paid off, but um, we're looking. Because we know eventually we're gonna get close to that point. So uptime ain't working. Maybe you can do a deal with Bear out in Wilmer. Maybe that would be cool. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. Um. All right, Swanee. We will holler at you later. Thanks for swinging in as always. Touring, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars way out yonder, having them holler.
I have no idea what even that command is. I've never even seen it on our stream. So, yeah, I would just say whisper the Redneck Tech, and I don't know what exactly that does. So, uh, badged up now. Nice. Uh, well, you get the badges when you subscribe. Oh, here's the other thing that happened to me. Okay, so I lost. Uh, tells us how long you're live. Oh, okay. Yeah. Typically 3 hours every morning, Monday through Friday, and then weekends are kind of based on the weather, unless I get bored and want to come down and talk to everybody. Um, but oh, well, that's cool. Oh, so that's what they do on some of them other streams. Okay, that's what that is. Neat.
Oh, yeah!
CWD, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show. Um, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to maybe getting out and doing some fishing this weekend, and if Saturday morning chooses to remain as clear as it says it's going to, I will probably be out right away Saturday morning. So cut down on stupid trolls. uh, some will still follow if they really want to be dumb. Uh, Guess as I switch from phone to computer, where's my sound button? I have no idea. Um, just scroll down. But make sure you guys check out the bottom of the Twitch page also. Like, if you're going to do your shopping from Amazon, if you want security for your computers, everything that we use is there. Um, you know, you do your shopping, and why not have Amazon kick us some money? I'm a doctor. What's happening? Good to see you back in here. How you been? We're about the last 20 minutes of the show, but I kind of use this for just a rap session of bullshit with people. But I do want to touch on the Hong Kong protest again on one thing. Okay, I do want to touch on one thing on that, and this is what I think is the thing. With this protest, I agree with why they're protesting. If you don't feel that you're going to get a fair trial, uh, if you don't feel that you're going to get a fair trial, and which is legitimate, because if the mainland doesn't have anything to do with them, and realistically, why wouldn't you? If you've been self-regulating for how long, and that's kind of why America got its independence, because they started regulating stuff for people were regulating stuff that had never even been here, didn't even come here. Trans Am, good morning, good to see you. I always catch you when you're getting off. Fuck me. No, you're not my type. I'm not big into doctors. They end up just fucking in the ass. Look at my medical bills. Has been in an autonomized region of China, and now China is trying to bring them in. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh. Their agreement was for 50 years, and they're trying to pull the plug. Damn. Yeah, again, I think the way that they're going about protesting this, I think the umbrella protests and the mass scale in which they're doing is absolutely. I have a busy day every day, doctor. This is what happens. I do the show. I get off here at 10 o'clock. Well, actually, but it's about 10 after 10 by the time I usually get off. I run upstairs, let the dogs out, use the bathroom, get stuff ready. I go out, I pre-trip my truck, I go fuel it up, and then I do a 500-mile run. Get home between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. Come home, eat dinner, hang out with the wife for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, back in bed, do it again. Yeah. Every day, 5 days a week. That's how it goes. And then on the weekends, between streaming and trying to get stuff done here around the house, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time. Thank you, Rich. I greatly appreciate it.
Making them dirt road dollars.
200 biddies.
Way out yonder, having them holler.
So, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 miles a day. If I end up doing a double, which I've done on the morning show, woke up a half hour late. I started the morning show a half hour late. So, 9 to 10 if I'm lucky. Yeah. And that's really what it is. It's if I'm lucky. You know. Been trying to find a job with better compatible hours. The problem is I can't get a job with, I can't get a better job that pays me what I pay now to pay my bills. So, I do enjoy what I'm doing, but I found something I enjoy more, and that's streaming. I could definitely. No. No. Troll. Gus is a troll. Gotta be troll. Baby shark shit. See, the redneck waxing is not taking hold, by the way. You see this? You see this? 2 guys on this morning show have lost their beards. Look at that donation deal up there. Yeah! How do you like me now? Just the driving alone is like I'm doing pretty close to 80 hours a week right now. Pretty close. So It's too quiet. I talk to. Let's get going. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Paulina, if you're listening. Why she doesn't create her own account. She likes to talk to me through the Redneck Text account. And then he's like, oh, she told me to play that, which I know half the time she's not doing it. She's not doing the soundboard. He's doing it. Why? Because he's an asshole. She's sleeping in today. Well, she deserves it. She's been working her ass off since she opened. Just driving alone. She was like 8 to 5. Yeah, it's a lot to do. It would be cool if you streamed on the road. I'm actually looking at doing that, Doctor. I'm actually looking at doing the streaming from the road. We got a signal booster. The problem is on my route, I hit a lot of spots that just have like 1 bar of service, and it cuts out. So that's one of the bonuses to the signal booster that the Redneck Tech had to lose his beard over. Yeah. He put it out there earlier this week. He said, they said, how much for the Redneck Tech to lose his beard? And he put it out there, somebody buys a signal booster today, I will shave my beard off after the grand opening of the Mill Pond Salon. Next thing you know, about 2 or 2.5 hours later, I get a knock on my door, and here's a check from an anonymous donor. Says that son of a bitch can lose his beard. Go get your signal booster. Ha! Boom! Shakalaka! Boom! Oh. And then Matt Ram, because of all the, him and Redneck Tech have been going back and forth about the better beard. Matt Ram says, you know what? Fuck it. For another $100, I'll throw my beard up there for $100. Hell with it. Keep in good faith. Support the Invasion Nation morning show. He says, I'll throw my beard up there too. And Redneck Tech, in his all but hurtedness, said, you know what? Fuck that. If I got to lose mine and he's losing his too. So the Redneck Tech throws $100 down on the mat and says, you're losing yours too.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And that's the thing. One thing people don't understand is with the whole deal, Redneck Tech puts in a lot of hours on this show, as far as like all the emojis he creates, the shield system for subscribers, the design of the page. I mean, this is all stuff that he's doing, and I mean, continuing. This guy's been on a mission. And when I told him my goal was to be a full-time streamer, he has been nothing but been on a mission to make that happen. Going through the store, creating the donation stuff like that. So yeah, and it would be nice. It would definitely be nice. So it's gonna take me about a year to get the majority of my debts paid off, or paid down to a manageable level to where I could actually just jump this in. But we're trying to jump sooner. So we're absolutely blessed. You just got a thing for him. You guys got some weird thing going on, Lolly. I mean, y'all got some weird shit going on. I just stay away from it. So, looking forward to it. Are you serious? Clean shaving. This is the 21st century support. Ed Shaven. Oh, good night. Well, you see, here's the thing. Those of you who don't know, the Redneck Tech never used to actually have a full beard. And then got a sponsorship to grow one, took care of it. North American Beard Alliance came out and was uh, all about him growing a beard, and they wanted him to use their products, do that stuff, and he did just that. And he had a sponsored beard. The only guy I know personally that had a sponsored beard. Somebody came at me to sponsor my beard. This, what the hell are they called? West Virginia beard something or another. Biggest bunch of bullshit I ever seen. Oh yeah, we're gonna send you a product we want because I don't, even if you want me to uh, endorse something, like even on the Snapchat side of things, people send me stuff to endorse their crap, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna endorse something that I don't use. I don't use beard jizz. I'm sorry, I don't. It's not my thing. I got to remember to put deodorant on every morning. So, text show the baby shark clip. We don't have the baby shark clip. God, I hope not, anyways. Endorse a baby shark cap. I do feel the need to thank Tech for paying for my annual shave. What do you mean it's? What do you mean it's on Facebook? The clip of me doing the fin, or just his little dumbass post? Oh no, it's gonna take a lot more to see. I put the challenge up once before, and this is the best part. All right, Bubba, we'll catch you on the flip side. Keep them wheels to the pavement. Keep them between the ditches. Uh, yeah, I put the challenge out. I said if somebody came in, uh, uh, yeah. Oh yeah. Good luck with that. Me catching it. I think you'd be better off getting me to do the Cabbage Patch. Mm-hmm. Wait, what did I miss? Oh, really nice. So he shot perfect the first one and 3 out on the second. That's good. That's really good. All right, Ruger son. No, they're Rugerson is in the state shooting competition. Figure this out: 12,500 guns and one little conglomerate, or more than that probably. But 12,500 people in this little area in Alexandria. The state shooting competition has been going on for years for the high school clay leagues, and not a single incident. Something to be said for that statistically, isn't there? That many guns in one area, not a single accident? Anybody? Anybody? Not a single accident. I don't know, maybe because the dummies who like to do mass shootings would make the biggest mistake of their life. uh, showing up at a place like that. No school shooting. What? Oh, yeah. Uh, so, um, we covered a lot of stuff today. I still, like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to make of Donald Trump's recent statements. I guess I want to see the rebuttal. I don't know if he's just stirring Democrats' pots because of the current deal, but I don't think it's going to help him a whole lot in the polls. No snowflakes. Uh, I don't. He's already having a hard go of it in the polls, and honestly, it's because of his attitude. And then the comment like this that he just made on live TV or reported TV, um, it's like absolutely insane. I don't know. I haven't caught it all in full perspective. I did hear the clip comment of what he said, and it's like, yeah. Believe it or not, actually, Hillary Clinton, if I remember correctly, did actually win the popular vote. She just lost in the electoral colleges. God, could you imagine what this world would be like if we had Hillary for president right now? We'd all be fucked. We'd all commit suicide with 2 bullet holes in the back of our heads. Just saying. Nightwear. um. So, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and. Oh, if Nancy pooped Lucy's Minister of Defense, we'd all be fucked. Oh, did you guys hear what the news report coming out of Lake Calhoun? That's what I was going to talk about. I forgot about that. The news report coming out of Lake Calhoun. For the last few days, there's been a group of Somali males down there, about 30 of them, driving up into people's yards, making threats against them, being very disrespectful, even going to the point of telling a woman that they were going to rape her or kidnap her and rape her. So that actually was on the news here yesterday or the day before. So basically, the people in the neighborhood said no more. They called the police. Police are now running an active investigation on it. So I'll keep you posted on what I find out about that. You know, people are starting to feel like this is going to become the Germany complex where, thank you, where they start chasing out the citizens of the community, and by chasing them out, they're gonna by chasing them out, then they can take over the neighborhoods. People say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not how it works." Well, it does. Germany is becoming fast proof of that. Uh, London is becoming fast proof of that. There's a lot of areas that are becoming fast proof of that. Harass the people till they leave, and especially when you have a justice system that does nothing against them besides coddle them. Look at my situation. I was threatened by a Somali male on video. Haven't heard any formal charges being pressed, have you? Here in Sweden, those kinds of men stand for 90%, 95% of all rapes in their culture. It's in their culture. That's because in their culture, women are property. Uh, they uh, time to start keeping pig blood in the fridge. Kim Small is pronounced new name. Here's the thing. Uh, when you talk about not prosecuting people because you're trying to give them a better way, and you talk about Sharia law, they did a study here in Minnesota. Minnesota has been labeled the #1 recruiting ground for terrorists. Because of, and you ask any refugee who has come here, they said Minnesota's the best place to be. You ask any person as far as you ask any person as far as an illegal. Matt Ram has seen the flyers. Go to Minnesota, you'll get the best benefits. And here's the thing, nothing is being done prosecution-wise. And I get called a racist because I point out facts, and it truly is facts. I work with Somali people every day. I'm around them every day. I don't have a problem with them. A lot of them are very respectful, come here to be American citizens. But you ask them, and they will tell you flat out that Sharia law is better than the Constitution. But in Sharia law, women are treated as property. Women get absolutely no respect. It doesn't matter what, they don't treat it like Americans would. Well, your religious belief and how you treat women in your household, outside of blatant abuse, that's the thing, But they have no respect for any woman, period. My wife worked in a gas station for a short while. For when we were fighting for custody of my son, we were both working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet and do everything we needed to do. And the transport, health insurance had just kicked our asses and everything else. Well, in the meantime, these young men would come in there and blatantly disrespect her to the point where I had to have my phone on me at all times because if something happened, because I live close, that I could actually get there faster than the police department. I heard yesterday that these Somali truck drivers will run like 3 in a truck and they will cut a hole from the seat out of the truck and they just go to the bathroom and never stop driving. Is that even possible? Actually, they don't cut a hole in the seat. What they do is they put a bucket in the floor and they cut a hole in the floor and they just shit right through the floor of the truck. But yes, they do it. When I worked at a diesel shop, we actually refused to service a couple of trucks because of stuff like that. So it is 10 a.m. everybody. Again, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is fucking Friday. Anything goes, as long as it's within terms of service. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, big shout out to Mill Pond Salon, Romaine Berg, KJ's Quick Stop, and Iams Garage. Greatly appreciate y'all tuning in, and we will catch you tomorrow.